Please be
We are
live.
10 seconds in.
Okay, cool. Twitch.
This is so
Are we
exciting.
live on Twitch?
I think so, yeah.
It takes always like a while for things to be live on Twitch. Like, I don't know what's wrong with StreamYard, but
I think there's like a lag between the two, but it does show everything. Let me go to Teach Daniel.
yeah, we're live, I think. Yeah, we're live. I think we just got live. It says 2 seconds in, so it always takes like 10, 20 seconds, but we're live.
Ooh.
How are you doing today, Shreya?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing fantastically.
I'm so excited to be on Teach Daniel for the first time.
I know you're a frequent chatter, but
I love chatting with your little people.
hey, they're not little.
No, I love calling you out in your chat. That's what I meant to say.
Awesome. Do you want to share it on our Discord before we get started in the Bit Project one? So if folks can follow along afterwards in the general.
Good.
So, hey everyone. Today, me and Shreya are going to build emotion reader with Azure functions using the Face API and HTTP triggers. And today, what we're going to do is, so Shreya's never done this before. So she's going to go through the curriculum. I'm going to be her Sherpa, guiding her through the process. And hopefully today we can see things that we can improve and then make some issues and show folks how easy it is to contribute to open source. That's me trying to sing. Open source. Great.
Oh my God, Danny's in the chat right now. Hey, Danny. I'm a huge fan.
Danny. We stand. So yeah, what are Azure functions, Shreya?
So the best part about this is that I have no idea. So I'm going to start this from the perspective of a student who has no idea what serverless is and Azure functions is. And we're going to go through weeks 1 and 2 today. Is that right?
Yeah, let's do it. So let's start the free course. Guys, it's free. It's free.
So just make sure you're all logged into GitHub when you go into this link. Daniel, do you mind sending this link in the chat real quick?
Yes, and go ahead and start the free course.
Okay. I'm going to click it. Yay, I'm going to make it public. And it's going to take a minute to clone all of the course materials. Do you see everything?
But yeah, whenever I think of this course, I always think about Whitney Houston's like So Emotional, because it's like emotion reader.
Oh my God. This is the one, is it based off of Natalie's project?
Yep, this is actually based off of a project that a student did for Bit Project. And then we get to like learn off of her, which is great.
That's so exciting. So I'm going to go into week 1 downloading an ID, and I'm guessing I'm going to have to download an ID for this.
Wait, are you sure you have the right version?
I
you might have to delete it and then wait, never mind. I think this is the right version.
This is the one that was released on January 14th. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Cool.
Let's just start. Yeah, of course.
Awesome. So this is the prerequisite page, the fundamentals of JavaScript. Exciting.
Let's move on that. We don't have to do that today.
Okay. Which part should I start with?
No. Just go there and then let's see how to move on. To commit, just like comment something random and press close issue.
Something. Oh, I can't type. That's okay.
And close with comment.
Wow. That's exciting.
And then nice.
Cool. Click here to start. Okay, I already have Visual Studio Code, so I'm just gonna keep going. Is that okay?
No, you didn't. No. You have to create a JavaScript file that prints out.
Oh, you're right. I need to read the whole thing. That prints out hello world in the terminal. And once I'm done, write a comment describing what I completed. So let me make sure you can actually see my VS Code. Let me open it up.
Wait, you have the wrong version.
Do I?
Have the correct version. Wait, Wait,
Okay.
comment, describe. Oh, never mind, never mind. This is sorry, I lied. Sorry, I'm all over the place today. This is cool.
You're good. I'm just, what do you want me to do?
Can you scroll up a little bit? I just want to see what it says. Yep, this is correct. Sorry about that.
Okay.
So let's go to VS Code and write a JavaScript file that prints out hello world.
Okay, let me
You know how to
just
do
share
that?
my, yeah, I'm just gonna share my entire screen so that I don't have to like
Bee sting.
flip between the two things. So, do you see my VS Code?
Of course I do. Of course I
Perfect.
do.
Okay, I'm gonna share it in my documents folder. What do you want to call it?
Hello world.js because we are creative queens.
Yes. I love how Danny is like supporting me in the chat saying he also doesn't read everything. Would like to access. Yes. Cool. So how do we go about writing this code? Do I just do console.log?
Let's read the question again.
Okay. For this assignment, you will follow the instructions and complete a task showing your knowledge of the subject at the end. Cool. If I need help, I can ask Emily, Julia, or Evelyn. Before we start coding, we need to install an IDE. We did all of that.
No, it just the instruction is literally create a JavaScript file that prints out hello world in the terminal. In the
In the
terminal.
terminal, that's what I was doing.
Okay, let's try
Right?
it and see what happens.
My dude, you're confusing me. Hello world. Okay, cool. And
And then let's run it in the terminal.
so let me make sure I'm in the right thing. I want to go into documents. And
Look at my
then
Linux queen just navigating that like a absolute ninja.
is it node and then the name of the file?
Let's try it and see if it works.
No, what is it?
Node is not installed. You need to
Oh my
go.
God.
Yeah, that's how you do it. Just go install Node. Do you know how to install Node?
I'm gonna Google it.
That
Install
is
node.
that is what you're supposed to be doing. So that's
Keep
great.
in mind, this computer is like not even a week old, so that's why nothing is installed on it.
It's
Um,
okay, Shreya. You don't have to justify it.
continue, agree. Let's act like I read everything. Don't look at my password.
Is that how you like avoid being like doxxed? You're like, don't look at my password.
Don't look at it. Ooh, it made a
Bad.
sound. Move to trash. Cool. Should I try it
It work.
again?
Can you like make sure you zoom in a little bit? I'm blind, so like
That's the next question is how do I
command
increase?
command shift plus like the there we go. That's a little
Is
bit
it
too
big
much.
enough? Okay.
Undo one more time.
Is it too much?
Yes, yeah, that's perfect.
Okay.
Whoa, we
And
got it.
then, yes, and we could just keep
Okay, good.
running it a million times. Okay, cool.
Yeah, let's go back.
So I'm gonna go back to week one, and once you're done, write a comment describing what I did. I wrote a line of code.
I think what
Code.
we should do is we should open an issue on the Bitcamp repo to improve this a little bit because I feel like the instruction is a little bit vague.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you think about that? No, it's not the issue there. We have to go to the Bitcamp repository.
Um,
Concept project.
Another recommendation I would make is to have instructions to do that on everything over here. So just like a line at the bottom that says, hey, if you have a problem with this, click on this repo and then create an issue.
So let's open an issue, like a new
Mm-hmm.
issue, and then let's do bug report. It's a bug. I think
It's
it's
a
a bug.
bug.
It's a little buggy. So what's the bug? We can be like, no, you got to title
Um,
it first. It can't just be bug.
week one of intro to serverless. Instructions unclear.
Yeah, and but we have to be more specific. Let's scaffold it a little bit. Let's say week one of intro to serverless. Step two, I believe, like step one, or issue
Issue two.
issue two. So what was unclear about it?
So after creating the JavaScript file, there are no instructions.
Yeah, to run the file
Run the file or
or
upload
anything.
it anywhere
Yeah,
or anything to commit.
yeah,
That's a better way to phrase it.
yeah. And then you should delete the first line. Like you don't need a clear and concise.
Gotcha. Was there anything else? Oh, we also can anyone create an issue here, or is it only because I have access to the Bitcamp
No,
repo?
anyone can create an issue. The beauty of open source.
UT.
The beauty.
Do I need to fill out
What do
any
you
of
think
these other
also
things?
about having instructions on how to install Node and all these other technologies if they don't have it installed?
Oh yeah. Also, we should have more instructions on how to install Node and other stuff.
Other technologies. Let's not use the
Other
word stuff, you know.
technologies in case
Is students
students
don't
are
have.
super new to coding.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Pre-installed.
And then the location is just week 1, issue 2.
Oh,
No, no,
also,
under context, under context.
wait, 1 second. Another one is that we need to include a link to the Bitcamp repo in case people want to make suggestions for improvement.
Perfect. Sounds great.
Cool.
Where's the problem located? We know where it is. It's issue number 2.
In title,
Yeah, issue number 2.
week one.
Number 2. Number 2.
Oh, my bad.
Yep. Desired outcome.
More instructions.
Yeah. Delete the stuff, the first sentence. Yeah.
Right.
And then, yeah, there's no, nope. Just delete the rest too because I don't think they apply. It's pretty clear. And then submit a new issue.
Awesome.
And that's it. Okay, let's keep going. We stand open source.
In the terminal.
Using what? Using console log, right?
Using console.log.
And then
So
what does it say? And then
I have another question. If a student doesn't actually know how to use this function, is that something that they have to look up when they're doing this, or?
yeah, that's in the previous step. So the prerequisite covers that.
Okay, the part that we skipped over.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Close with
No.
comment.
It says we should also add that into the issue. It
What?
doesn't tell you how to do it because you're not supposed to close it. You just supposed to comment it.
Okay. Should
Also,
I?
yeah. Next, below all the alsos. Also, also,
Sure.
clarify how to move on. How to move on. Like what? Oh, is it comment or comment and close?
Ooh.
Perfect. Update comment. We stand. Okay, cool. Let's go back and then let's move on. So reopen issue. And I think you have to comment it again because you're just supposed to comment it. So copy and paste that. Just comment. That green button is so satisfying.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Learning GitHub. Well, we're pretty good at GitHub. So let's see what it asks us.
So for this, okay, I'm just repeating the same thing. So this explains what GitHub is and what it does. If you want to learn more, you can click on these links. If you want to join, you can do that. Task 3, create a repository and commit a readme.md file.
Oh, so I think what we should do is we should create a repository. Should be not the case because the student's not creating a repository when they're adding their name to a readme, right? So we should delete that. That's another issue.
Okay, so I'm confused. What am I supposed to be doing here?
So let's read the instructions. Task 3, create a repository and commit a README file.
Uh-huh.
To move on, add your name to the README file in this repository and commit the change. Comment the summary of what you completed.
So is there a README file already in this repository?
Let's check if there is.
Oh, there is. Nice. Cool. So do I just edit it?
Yeah. Hello, OP scripter. Oh, June. Hey, everyone. Thanks, Chris, for rating. Whoa. Chris is so cool.
Who's Chris?
Chris is a friend of mine who's super into photography and videography. Also, he's huge on YouTube. He has like 80K followers or something on
so
YouTube.
cool.
He's so cool.
Goals.
So hey y'all, welcome to our stream. Today, me and my friend Shreya are working on an open source project. So we are part of an open source organization where we make free open source educational resources, and we're going through one of the tutorials that we have created. That our nonprofit has created, and we're kind of opening issues and working through it. So yeah, you sound like you laid back for life. That's the vibe I'm going for.
Okay, key functions you should be familiar with. After this, committing changes, we did that. Forking repository. So we didn't actually have to fork this repository because it's already forked when you start the Learning Lab. Making a new branch. Also didn't have to do that unless I was supposed to do that.
Oh, no. So I think we can comment that later. Let's move on to the next step. I want to get to the Azure functions.
Yeah.
So let's make the issues later, and then let's just comment I committed a README file.
I committed a README file. Just comment it, right? Yes.
Cool. Let's give let's just close this one. Oh, wait, not close this. I think we have to
need to review instructions.
Yeah. And then let's move on. It should pop up.
So it says close this issue and come back to it later, right?
Close this issue. Is there no more?
Did something happen?
Did something happen? Did this work? Okay, let's go back to the thing. And where are we at exactly?
Let's reload it.
Oh, yeah. Let's click resume.
Cool.
Is it all the way at the bottom?
All of this.
Oh, yeah. We have to do that now. Oh, there we go. Oh, no. Scroll through. There's like the stuff with all of the screenshots below. Yeah, that one. Let's read through it. Okay. So below is a written format of the live stream of this week, included for future reference. To move on, close this issue.
All right. So this is just overview.
Okay, so we have set up VS Code, right? And then we know how to use GitHub. Cool. Let's scroll down.
So was I supposed to see these images the last time I was doing it?
Yeah, I think we need to rework that. But I think we should first go to the Azure portal and just figure out how that works. Let's read through this. So working with Azure Function. Working with Azure Functions was the biggest task of the week. Here are the steps to create a resource and deploy a simple HTTP trigger in that resource. So let's click create a resource in the portal. So do you have the Azure portal?
So I'm over here. How do I get to this thing?
I think you have to go to portal. Just go to the link and just delete everything besides portal.
Gotcha.
That should work.
Create a resource.
So create a function app. So for all of y'all who are here right now, Azure Functions is a way where you can upload code to the cloud, and you don't have to actually manage the servers behind it or the infrastructure. A company like Microsoft or Google or Amazon will take care of everything for you. So all you have to do is upload your code to the cloud. So today what we're doing is we're going to use machine learning APIs as well as regular JavaScript to upload a function that reads a person's face and determines their emotion and recommends a song to help cheer them up. That's like what we're trying to do.
That's so cute.
It's cute.
Awesome. So we're going to create a new resource group with a unique resource name. Add a unique function name as well.
Oh, bro, God Almighty! What does that mean? This stream is
What?
good, too good. It stopped on my sound side of things. Also, y'all can follow along. I will drop the link in the. This is what we're going through right now, like on the stream. So if you want to follow along, we're going pretty slowly. So we're just setting up our Azure account.
Select your region,
Can
my
you
region.
walk us through what you're doing so like our viewers know?
Yeah, so right now we're just creating a new function on the Azure portal. And we're on this step over here where it says select your region. And I'm going to select Western US. And
Cool.
then all of the other tabs should be filled. Click create, review and create.
Yeah, for sure. Let's do it.
Or do I need to write something in over here?
Let's see what it says. What does it say for resource group? Does it say anything?
Oh yeah, create a new resource group with a unique name. What should we call it?
Shreya is cool.
Shreya's resource group.
It's not Shreya is cool.
No, is that not supposed to work?
It says there's a create new button. Shreya's resource group. We're just being all out, just creative with our names today.
Yes, very creative. Okay, review and create.
Okay, we're creating a function app. Have any of y'all in the chat have created a function app, like a serverless function? If you have, they're really cool. If you have
Daniel,
not,
have you made one?
yeah, I like using serverless functions because I like building static websites. And whenever you want to add things like forms or newsletter thingies on the website without having to host your server, you can use serverless functions because you don't want to code a whole ass server just to host a form, you know? That's insane.
Yeah.
Like, why would you do that? So instead, you can use a serverless function on things like Netlify, and then you can, you know. Ooh, Jamal Farov. I'm not even trying to pronounce that, but if you have any questions, please let us know because Shreya is a beginning developer. She's like completely new to Azure and cloud. So if you need me to break it down, we would all like learn from it. So if you have any question or anyone in the chat, feel free to ask.
Keep talking. It's taking time.
Bro, God Almighty said, I haven't even learned the language yet. That's fine. You know, we all got to start somewhere, you know?
Yeah.
And the thing about coding is like, if you kind of understand the concepts, language is just like, you just have to learn how things work together. It's like all semantics, but it's, I think, really important to understand how things work conceptually as well. So exactly, we are wizards doing magic. I'm so down for that. If I was a wizard, I would be like, I don't know who I'd be like, but I'd be a cool wizard.
Oh God.
I feel like I'd be one of the Weasleys.
Oh, Weasleys are cool.
I don't know. I really like the Harry Potter fashions, you know? They all seem so put together.
If you were a Harry Potter, like one specific character, who would you be?
Dobby. Dobby seems like a G.
Dobby's a G.
Also, like he can like snap their fingers and like things just move, and I'm like, yes.
I feel like you're the Dobby that's in that movie where he's like preventing Harry from going to school. So you're just like jumping on the bed up and down, and that's like you 24/7.
So, bro, God Almighty, what we're going to be doing today is, or folks who don't know a lot of like languages and things, Dobby is muggle for dad. I really
Wait,
want to feature this comment, but I
read
can't.
the comment. I can't see
It
it.
says, Dobby is muggle for daddy. So one good thing about running things like this. Oh my gosh, Kirk is here. Kirk is tech dad. He is one of the coolest people I've met. He lives in Wyoming and he's a god
Ooh,
at programming. If you want to
that is
see a real
interesting.
wizard in life, go subscribe to Kirk or go follow Kirk. Kirk is like the real life wizard. I'd be a muggle compared to Kirk, Tech dad, aka W.Y. Haynes. Oh, that's awesome.
Wait, read the comments out loud. I can't see them.
Oh, sorry. Uh, Rogod Almighty said, "Yeah, fam, I'm going to create a to-do list application from Java
Oh, that's
uh,
cool.
before the end of February." That sounds awesome. Setting a
Okay.
goal is really important. It's fine. I have no idea what I'm doing either. Sometimes I'm like trying to follow a YouTube video, trying to understand what's going on. We're all struggling out here. Coding is real difficult. It's like magic. Those people, in Harry Potter when they have the potions class, and there's always that one kid that like has fire just blown up in their face, and their like face burns up, or like everything splatters everywhere. That would be me in potions class. Oh, I saw that Teams notification. Ooh,
And everything. No.
yeah. So whenever you create a functions app like this, it takes a while because they're kind of setting up everything for you.
Is it supposed to take this long?
Yeah, it literally says be patient on the
Okay.
instructions.
Okay.
So we have to be patient. So
Okay.
Shreya, tell us about yourself.
Oh, about me. I'm a senior computer science and engineering major, so I definitely am not actually new to all of this, but I've never used Azure before. This is the first time I'm using it, which is why I'm really excited for this project. But
I
yeah,
think also like
yeah,
what's different. Wait, sorry to interrupt you, but I think
go.
also what's really cool is that people don't really teach you how to use modern technologies in college. Because when I was in college, they taught me things like C++ and C, and I'm like, you can't code a website with C and C++, or make cool apps. Oh, Shreya, keep going.
Oh wait, we were talking. Yeah, I joined Bit Project because Daniel was like, I have an idea. And prior to Bit Project, you had like another idea that was also related to education, but more like electrical engineering side. And that's when I first started working with you. And it was really cool to see kind of like you pull together this group of students that were just really dedicated to making sure that we could make education accessible to other people. And then at some point, I think a year after that club had started, you decided you wanted to shift focus to software engineering because that was something that we were struggling even as students going to a really big university. And we wanted to make sure that if we have access to all of these resources, there are a lot of people out there that don't, and we want to kind of help spread that around everywhere. So that's when Bit Project started, and it's really cool because we have a primary education team. Not a lot of people know about that just yet, and that's where I was working around a year or two ago. It was really fun. Yeah.
Hey, nice to see you.
Here.
Yeah, so me and Shreya are part of this like nonprofit for all of you who are joining, where we teach students how to become engineers. But Shreya doesn't really work on the actual content or the curriculum. She works more on like the logistics side. But Shreya's like, hey, I want to be a software engineer too. So basically, these live streams are meant for her to transition more and learn more technical things with me, Daniel. Great. Yeah. I think Kirk has a really good point. Oh wait, do you want to share your screen so we know where things are loading?
It is, yes.
So I think Kirk has a really good point here. Um, like I think whenever you have a intro programming Like if you want to learn how to program, it's really important to find a resource that splits up the big task for you because you can get really easily overwhelmed. So like the resource that he has suggested, it's really, really good because it kind of gives you a roadmap on how you should be spending your time and kind of progressing. So you feel some sense of achievement. So I have a degree in electric. Oh, yeah, that one. So Fist of Fury. Yes, I do have a degree in electrical engineering and computer engineering, but it's not really CS because I learned more about like chip design and semiconductors and digital design and computer architecture, and that has kind of nothing to do with web design or you know regular software engineering, but it's like kind of related. Like I had to take intro to CS. How about you, Shreya?
I'm doing computer science and engineering, which is like 70% computer science and 30% engineering. I'm gonna graduate next quarter, so I'm like almost there, pushing through. But we do have a lot of people that are currently taking this course that are not actually computer science majors at all. Some of them are in the humanities, some of them are in arts. So it's really cool to see us kind of like diversify over time.
Yeah, I think also bro God Almighty, if this makes you feel any better, a lot of the folks that I work with in my current team at my job are from non-traditional backgrounds, whether they're from a boot camp, like they were a stand-up comedian that became like a software engineer, or there's a one person who um started from nothing and has no degree and they just self-taught themselves to how to code. So as long as you are really good at coding and you know what you're doing and you get the skills you need by like going through all these like free resources like free code camp, like what we're doing, like what YouTube videos, whatever you need, that's how you get
I'd
there.
say like even if you don't know what you're doing, as long as you just like really want to learn and really care about it, people can kind of like recognize that passion and that dedication.
Yeah, and a lot of folks always ask me like, how do you get a tech job if you don't have a degree? And like the honest truth is, it's a lot harder if you don't have a degree because recruiters will automatically filter you out. Like if you don't have a degree, some systems will automatically reject you if you don't have a degree, and that's like the sad fact of it. Because I once got rejected automatically because I didn't have a computer science degree. My degree was in electrical engineering, which is insanely close, but it was
Yeah.
instantly rejected. That's just like the real life scenario. So it's a lot harder to get your foot in the door. So a lot of the folks that have been super successful are really active on like social networks, like whether it's Twitter or LinkedIn, like making connections, or they're really active on GitHub making open source contributions. But I think the sad fact is, even though there are successful people in tech who are from non-traditional backgrounds, the barrier to get there is a lot harder. And we need to work as an industry, the tech industry, to make that barrier a lot less because it's insanely hard.
Mhm.
But
I
yeah,
know a lot of people that are like that have no degree in tech that are way better at coding than I am too.
definitely. Wow, this is taking forever. Do you want to like reload it and see what's going on?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
But it's good to catch up though. Oh, wait, did it work? No. Wait, fuck.
No.
Let's go to home and see if there's like an instance created. Uh you should have let's go to function app.
Mm.
Do you know why some companies want someone with a CS degree when it's just a front end dev position? Learning software dev is very accessible. You can build things and show projects. That's all you really need, in my opinion. That is true. The reason that a lot of companies filter them out is because people who are recruiting are not software engineers. And for other more traditional jobs, a college degree is seen as a prerequisite. So they're like, if they're getting paid more than the regular job, why shouldn't they be required to do like have a degree? So it's more of like the person who's hiring may not be the person who's like filtering the applications, because if you get like 3,000 applications for 10 jobs, you like the recruiter does need to like have some criteria to cut down the applicants. And also I think it's like the old school way of thinking, but I've seen more and more companies kind of relax that prerequisite of having a CS degree for filling stuff like front end dev positions. But I think it's a transition that's going to take a while to fully take on. And I totally agree with you. all you need to do is build and show projects. But the sad part is that's not how the industry is, sadly. And yeah, college is so expensive. It's like inhumane. Oh, did it work?
I think so. Yeah, I think I might have just messed up something last time, but it's here.
Wait, you have to
Cool.
click create, I think. Oh, it says install. Wait. Did it work?
I think it's loading.
It worked. It worked.
Awesome. Do I
Woo!
have to wait until this part is over?
Wait, let's go back to the instructions and see what's going on.
Awesome. So we already did number 6. Deployment takes a couple of minutes. Once it's deployed, open it and go to functions. Tap on the tab on the left. Where's the functions tab on the left?
Is there no functions tab on the left?
Is it supposed to show up over here?
I don't know. Let's look at the instructions again. Uh,
FX.
let's go to home and then let's see if there's a functions like there should if you go to home, there should be like a function app. Is it view? Wait. Is there no function apps? Wait, go back. Maybe let's go back. Like go to the left, like back where you
Oh,
were.
back.
Oh.
Oh, go to
Okay, go to
resource.
resource. Oh, there we go.
FX. Yay.
Functions.
Cool.
Okay, cool.
And then click add on this page and then HTTP trigger. Click add HTTP trigger. Click add at the bottom on the side window. It might take a couple of seconds. Patience.
Okay.
Okay.
Just click add. What is an HTTP trigger?
Okay.
Wait, Shreya, what's an HTTP trigger?
It's a function that will be run whenever it receives an HTTP request, responding based on data in the body of query string.
What does that mean?
I don't know. Do you want to elaborate on that?
Yeah, for sure. Okay. Wait, zoom in. So
Oh,
like
on
the folks
this?
can see.
Yes.
Yeah. Zoom in more so the folks can see. Yeah. So basically, how HTTP requests work is basically when two computers and servers talk to each other. They're like, "Hey, bro. Hey, fam." They use things called HTTP requests, and like they receive and send requests to communicate with each other. So an HTTP trigger is basically when you call your server to do something. Like if you want, like if you're creating like a mailing list function that whenever you send someone the server like an email address, it will save it to like a database to wake up that server because like you want to give the server information, right? What you do is you send a HTTP request and it the server like takes that request and then it does whatever it needs to. So what we're doing right now is we're deploying a function to the cloud that is a trigger. So it accepts like HTTP requests from random people who are sending it to the server and then it will do something. It'll run. Like it doesn't have anything that does it, but it's just gonna we're right now deploying a template, which means we're just gonna trigger something. Like it's gonna trigger like hello world or something. Fist of Fury says, "How do graduates from coding bootcamps get hired? They practically, bro. I don't like. I think coding bootcamp grads have a lot of struggles as well to get a job. It's not as rosy as Lambda School marketing makes it seem. You know, I think income share agreements and things make bootcamps like. I don't really agree with what bootcamps do because they're insanely expensive and a lot of people get screwed over. So I don't really personally believe in coding boot camps, but I know a lot of them struggle because I know personally a few people who are going to coding boot camps that are struggling to find a job right now. I agree. It's a force. The workforce is a place of logic and efficiency. Totally. Okay, so let's keep going. So we have the trigger.
Mm-hmm.
Let's look at the
And
JavaScript.
it's opened, and then it wants us to click and test the tab on the left, and the code should open. So
Yeah, we
code and
stand
test.
free code camp. Free code is awesome.
Awesome, and we have the code.
Awesome. That's just like comes with Microsoft. All we're doing is just opening what's deployed by the template. For sure. Hello world means you're a programmer.
If we need to review the code we created, review the live stream. So that's the one that Julia did last week
Yeah.
with Chloe, and then click save and refresh in that order, and refresh only once the trigger has saved completely. When you have finished writing your code or in between, it never hurts. Okay.
So we should
Um,
try something. So what is let's try to like see what the code is doing and let's try to like read it out loud. So what
mhm.
do you think this code is doing? Like what's context.log?
I know this is, I'm guessing, just simply printing that out. Is it just printing it out?
Yep. It's just printing it out on
Awesome.
the terminal when it gets triggered. That's true.
Cool.
What is name? Like what do you think the const name is referring to? Let's just try to read decipher this.
Uh-huh. So there's a variable called name, and it gets that name from somewhere, but I'm not really sure where it's getting it from.
So what do you think REQ is?
Is the request?
Yes. Okay. So request.query.name. So what do you think that means?
Um, it is getting the request. It's getting a request for the name of something.
So, okay. Before we do that, what we can do is we can test and run the code. So let's click test/run on the very top.
Test and run.
So do you know what this is?
I have no idea. Provide parameters to to test the request.
Mm-hmm.
So do we need to change any of this?
So what is an HTTP method?
I don't know. Do you want to explain it?
An HTTP method is telling whenever you send information to a server, you want to tell it what you want to do. So there's four different types of HTTP requests. There's get, post, put, and delete. So I think for this one, there's only post and get. So post means you're adding information. You're like sending information. And get means you're getting information. So what do you want to test first? Do you want to, let's try sending some information. So post and then so if you go to the left, it says rec.query.name. So that means that the variable that we're passing in is name. So we can pass in exactly. So go to the body, just click run and see what happens. Let's do that first. And isn't it great? We don't even have to exit from this. Exit from this. Yeah. So what happened here? Hello, Azure. You're muted, Shreya. Unmute yourself.
My bad. Okay. It says that the HTTP triggered function executed successfully. And this was our input.
So
Hello,
what is
Azure.
happening here?
So it just took the name Azure and then it printed it out in the output.
Yeah, so let's look at the code. What does it say?
Um, so that was a lot of code for getting the name over here and the body over here.
So what's happening in the code right now? Like how does response message work? Explain it to me.
Response message. Let's see if I can close this. Is equal to name. So isn't it just simply getting the name from what we did over here, and then assigning it to response message, and then saying that whatever is in the body for name becomes the name over here.
Yeah. So basically, what we're passing in is in the body of the function is this variable called name, and we assign a value to that variable, which is Azure. Like we're just passing in Azure as like the thing that we're passing in. So if you go to rec.query.name or rec.body and rec.name, so what that means, so basically it's saying either the query the query parameter is the name, or if there's actually a body to the HTML request and that body contains the variable name, then like that's what const name equals that. So that's a whole ass logic for just getting that variable. So that name thing that you're passing in with the request is getting assigned the variable name. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
So what is this doing?
You just explained it. So we're just making sure that we get either the name from the query itself or from the body if it exists.
So what is
And then,
this? What is the point of having all that complex logic? Pop quiz.
Pop quiz. I'm actually not sure why we're
Okay,
doing
the
all
reason
of
that we
that.
do this is because we want to make sure that we do something called input validation, y'all. So input validation is basically making sure that your input is something that is acceptable by the machine. You want to make sure that there is something in the body or like it's in the particular format you want before you put it through your logic. It's called input validation. So, like, basically, what this is doing is making sure that first something is in the body. That's what rec.body means. And the and means that the first condition needs to be satisfied, which is that it exists. And the second condition is satisfied, which means the name variable in the body of the HTTP request also exists. So it's basically being like, hey, bro, you need to have the body, something needs to be in the body as well as like a variable in the body called name. That's all it's saying. Awesome. So yeah. And then we're just trying out the trigger function. Awesome. I think that's it for the live stream. I don't think there's any homework. Yeah, that is such a good name. Oh my gosh. Input validation. Sounds like a move by the main character of an anime. That's pretty good.
Awesome. So we're basically done with all of that. To move on, comment any questions that you have. If you don't have any questions, comment done.
Okay.
So we're going to comment that.
And then I think you have to reopen it. Oh wait, let's go back to the issues. Maybe it opened another one. Oh, I know what happened, I think. You have to reopen it and then comment done again.
Okay.
And then it should automatic. We need to fix the instruction. Yeah, there we go.
Okay.
There we go.
Are we continuing for the next part?
Yeah, let's keep continuing.
Awesome.
I have a question. Yeah, ask away, y'all. How often do I stream? I try to stream more regularly now. I try to stream like 2 or 3 times a week, hopefully. Maybe more closer to the daily.
So before the Azure function can run, we have to install the necessary package dependency. We will be using the parse, multiparse, and node fetch packages. These must be manually installed in the console using npm install. Cool.
Let's read through what is a package.
What is a package?
What is npm? NPM is a package manager for Node.js packages or modules.
It's already ready to run on your computer. What is a package? It contains all the files that you need for a module. And then you can just download it using the following code. In the left tab, scroll down to console. So are we back over here?
Yep. Azure looks quite interesting. So Azure is the cloud platform in which you can code a lot of things. You can code in JavaScript, Golang, assembly, whatever you want. Is your world is your oyster. But we are professionals here, and I am a very lazy person, and I'm like, JavaScript is my language. So I like to code everything possible in JavaScript, but you can code it in whatever you want. We're coding it in JavaScript because I like JavaScript. For today, we're going to be coding most of it in the console itself because Azure has a nifty way where you can code everything, and there's an IDE all within their website. There's an amazing VS Code integration with Azure Functions, so you can deploy everything and write code directly in VS Code, and it will deploy it automatically to Azure Functions. You can do it either way.
So I did have to go back to home, open up app services over here, click on the function, and scroll down to console to get to this point. And then it asks us to enter these commands in this order. So we're going to do npm init.
Yeah, Node is really awesome. Oh, there we got a question. Is hours spent directly proportional to the quality of work? I don't think so. I think what's really important. Wait, let me leave the question up. I think what's really important is how you spend that time. So I would really recommend getting a Pomodoro timer. So you work for 25 minutes or however long you want with insane focus. You're like, I will get this done in that 25 minutes. And for 5 minutes, you just watch anime or whatever you want. And you continue that cycle. And I feel like having focused dev time is really important because you can say you study for 8 hours, but how really hard did you study for those 8 hours? I'd rather study 3 hours very intensely rather than like 8 hours just willy-nilly checking Instagram. Because personally, I don't know about y'all, but I have ADHD and I cannot focus on something for 8 hours without a lot of breaks. So I am not that kind of learner, but if that's how you learn, sitting down for 8 hours at a time, like whatever floats your boat. So what are you doing, Shreya?
So I'm just following the code that they asked us to copy over here, but for some reason we're getting an error. So I'm just going to try it again. No such file or directory. Open this.
Wait, let's go through it again. Let's go through the instructions again.
Sure. So the instructions only asked us to open console and then enter these commands in that order. Oh, this is expected and normal. You should be good to go. Reach out to your TAs if there's any issues.
Wait, can you go back to the thing? I want to see what the issues are. Oh, you added a weird like character before npm. It says vnpm.
No, I redid it because it said vnpm. I don't know why it pastes like that. It just pastes the v every time, but.
Oh, these are warnings, not errors. This is fine.
So that's fine. Okay, cool. And then we're gonna install node fetch.
Bro God Almighty, what I would recommend is not comparing yourself to everyone. Like there are people who are always going to be better than you, but like just try your best, you know?
Write a comment.
So what did you do here? Like, did that work?
We were installing packages using npm or
So
install.
Shreya, let me ask you an interview question because I know you're preparing for software engineering.
No.
What is the purpose of using a package manager? Like, what is the point of npm?
I think according to this link over here.
Nice shade.
It contains all these files that we need for the module.
No, but like, why would I want to use npm?
Because you don't have all of these saved on your own computer, right? And npm does. So we can use npm to kind of like install everything at once instead of having to write everything from scratch.
That is the correct answer. Ding, ding, ding. I don't have sound effects, so I have to make my own. Ding,
You need
ding,
a
ding,
little bell. You need to learn from Danny how to make sound effects.
ding, ding, ding. Okay, I can't do it. But anyways, that was correct. So y'all, npm is an example of a package manager. So the point of package managers is that you don't want to be coding everything by yourself. No one got time for that. There are people who are building these amazing open source projects that handle a lot of things for you, like parsing multi-part. You don't want to code that. So why not just take someone else's hard work and use it in your own file? So a package manager allows you to publish your code and use other folks' code in your own programs, so you don't have to build everything from scratch. Because imagine the horror of trying to build everything from scratch. That would be terrible. Oh, bro, God Almighty, you got it. Great. So now we're learning about data parse, multi-part data.
Mm-hmm. In your Azure portal, go to HTTP function and into the index.js file. Where are we? I'm just going to close this.
So where do you go for the files?
Index.
Wait, slow down. Let's just go through all the. There's a button called App Files.
App
It's two
files.
below it.
Ooh, app files. Cool.
Let's see if that works. If you click the little thingy. Ooh, there's not one. Maybe it's under functions. Let's try functions. Under functions. Is that it? Is that index.html? Index.js? I don't think this is it.
It said go to the HTTP function and into the index file. So I'm just
Let's go
gonna
to
see if
the.
it's in here.
Yep,
Oh,
that's it.
we're here.
We're here.
And then what do we want to do next? You can see starter code that looks something like this that we already checked out. This is the file that we'll be editing. Awesome, we'll be editing it now. Receive and parse an image from a web page. Oh, so we're getting to the actual project at this point.
Yeah. So receiving and parsing an image. What does that mean to receive and parse an image?
So this project is the one where we're going to be taking in images and then trying to figure out what emotions that image has, right?
I think this is the beard detector, where we're going to be figuring out if someone has a beard.
Oh, that's cool. So yeah, we need to be able
I think
to.
for your picture, it might test positive.
You know what? Let's not judge hairy women, okay? That's a normal thing. And then we're gonna call the face API and analyze the image. Oh, this is so cute. Someone made a little
So what is
thing.
my specialty in software development is sound effect design. I'm kidding. I specialize in building. I like web development, front end web development. I wouldn't say I'm a specialist in it. I just enjoy it. But I'm at a point where I can build whatever I need to if I have enough time, like an afternoon. I can just dig through the docs and I'll build it. But my specialty is JavaScript, especially front end frameworks like Next and Gatsby. That's my bread and butter. Hate CSS though. Goddamn. Love Tailwind. But anyways, let's keep going. What's happening to this flow chart?
Okay. HTML page, where the user will submit an image. This page will also make a request with the image to the Azure function. Let me just zoom in real quick. And then the Azure function over here receives the request from that page with the image. So we must first parse the image. Concepts to know: parsing data, packages, body and headers of a request. We're going to be focusing on part one, which involves multi-part form data.
Before we move on, let's really go really deep into what is multi-part form data. Like, what is multi-part form data?
Awesome. Oh, it's Stack Overflow. Um, when you make a post request, you have to encode the data that forms the body of the request in some way. Forms provide three methods of doing this. Cool. Do you have an easier way of explaining this?
Multi-part form data. Wait, I want you to try reading through the Stack Overflow because I want to show folks how to decrypt before I give the answer. It's too easy. We gotta try at least a little bit harder.
Okay. Work was being done on adding this, but it has been abandoned. Other encodings are possible. Important, never use text plain. When you're writing client-side code, use multi-part form data when your form includes this elements. Otherwise, you can use that or that, which would be more efficient. When you're writing server-side code, use a pre-written form handling library. Find a library that cannot handle both formats. Significantly more complicated, but it allows entire files to be included in the data. An example of the result can be found over here. Oh, wow. Series the parts are sent to the processing agent in the same order the corresponding controls appear in the document stream.
It's okay.
The main,
That's how we learn,
yeah.
you know? Try to think out loud so we can see. Oh, MERN is the MongoDB Express React node stack. It can be compared to the mean stack. I like saying mean because it's funny. It's like the mean stack. But yeah, that's with Angular. MERN is with React. I'm a fan of Next.js because Next.js plus like a NoSQL database. That's by Jamp, like Fauna plus Next.js or something. It's fun. Ooh, I like the Jamstack too. Ooh, I'm a fan. I love static site generators because they're so fast, and you don't have to worry about security and stuff. Also, I for swag, I wish the Jamstack conference would give out jam, like actual strawberry jam with like the Jamstack logo on it. That would be the shit. I would love that. So any closer? Sure.
All I know is that in order to get like the parse the actual image, we need to use this. And it has something to do with encoding the image.
Mm-hmm. So whenever you send like a file through a form, like the input, you know, like when you make a HTML form, you do like input type file for people
Mm-hmm.
to upload files and then send it.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, multi-part data allows you to send files and things across the internet. So it's not just text. That's it. It's not that complicated.
Okay.
Like there's like a more complicated explanation, but you don't really need to know it. Just like a way to send images and parse data.
So that's what you just said over here.
Yep.
Then the default HTTP encoding method is this, which encodes the text into name value pairs. Cool. So this is just kind of like an overview of what was explained in that
Mm-hmm.
Stack Overflow.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. And
Yeah,
then,
Node.js is the framework of the code that we're writing. Azure is the platform in which we're deploying the code we're writing. So Azure is a company that provides a platform. It's Microsoft Azure. It's literally the place where we go and deploy the code. Node.js is the way we build the code. It's like a framework. Okay, let's go back. So yeah, let's add the code snippets.
okay. We use the require functions to import node packages. This imports parse multi-part package into our code, and we can now call any function in the package using this function. Cool. So this is what it should look like. So we're writing this right at the very top. Where to go?
Yep, that's importing the multi-part library.
So now we can use
A package,
this.
not library. Cool.
And then before we start parsing, you want to go to the parse multi-part documentation for some context. Cool. Look specifically at the example in the usage section and what they're doing. Okay.
Fist of Fury, that is correct. Node.js is a framework you can deploy onto a server platform called Azure. That is correct.
So they want us to go into the usage section. In the next lines, you can see an implementation.
Yeah, bro God Almighty, Node.js is a way. I think Node.js is the coolest thing ever because before Node.js, there was no way to write JavaScript as actual backend code because JavaScript was usually used to make website look pretty and like add bouncing balls onto websites, you know? They weren't really used to write logic and backend code until Node.js because Node.js allowed JavaScript to be used to power like backend things and complex like database system, like connect with databases and things like that, and make APIs that weren't possible before. That's why I think Node.js is so cool. It kind of revolutionized the full power of JavaScript and the things it does now, like in production. Okay, let's keep going. So what
Um,
does multi-part dot parse do? Did you go to the documentation?
no, we're going there right now. Operates on raw data background sometimes. You only have access to the raw multi-part payload, and it needs to be parsed in order to extract the files or data contained in it. As an example, this switch will operate as a facade between HTTP client and your component. The
Um,
lines above represent that. We need to extract all the files contained inside the raw payload. Okay, so it allows you to send multiple files.
yeah, so basically this is allowing us to parse that really complicated code that is received by the server and kind of decipher what it's saying. That's what this is doing. And to be honest, when I run into something like this, it's really hard to understand, right? Like what's going on here. So I try to
Mhm.
kind of guesstimate what's going on instead of trying to understand everything because then I'd waste so much time. So I'd go back to the code snippet, like on the GitHub issue, and then
Mhm.
see like what kind of functions are we using. So we're using the get boundary as well as the parse function. So I would just control F, get boundary, and parse in that documentation just to get an idea of what's going on there. That's how I would do it.
There is no get boundary. Let me see if there's, we can see parse function.
What I would do is instead of doing dot parse, just do parse. So like we can like because okay.
Parse.
Parse.
Needs to be parsed.
Oh, okay. I guess it doesn't give you that much key context. Never mind.
Mhm.
So wait. Let's go back. Let's read the last.
Yes.
The return data. Can you read that?
The returned data is an array of parts. Okay. each one described by a file name, a type, and a data. This last one is a buffer. Cool. It says buffer over here.
Okay, let's just
Okay,
go
so
back
these
to
are
the.
the three parts.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So let's so I think the this tutorial gives us everything besides the body. So let's figure
Mm-hmm.
out what goes into the body, and then let's just copy and paste in all the other variables.
Okay. Where are we typing the code? Over here. In the multiply parse call, you need to figure out what the body parameter should be.
Mm-hmm.
So over here, it should be the request body. Think about the example as our function. How did we access that?
How did we access that?
Is it this part?
Yep.
Okay.
Wait. So
Mm-hmm.
what does context.res mean? Like, let's just assume, like,
Uh,
it's a
where
body
are you?
response message. And
Mm-hmm.
here, what we're doing is we're defining like variables.
Oh, this part.
So let's not put it in there.
Okay.
Let's put it like not in that place because I don't think it goes there.
Is it over here?
Uh yeah, let's put it there. Let's put it there for now and then see what
Okay. Assign the body variable to the correct value.
mm-hmm.
And what do we want our body to be?
So how do we fetch the body of the call? Like let's go back to the as our function.
Mm-hmm.
So the answer exists somewhere here. Oh no, you have to put this inside the async function. This goes inside the function. I read this wrong. You need to
Okay.
copy and paste that within the function.
How do you know where it's supposed to go?
Because do you see module.exports async function?
Yeah.
JavaScript will not render anything outside of a function. We're doing functional programming.
Okay.
So whenever the HTTP request is called,
Mm-hmm.
this function is going to be called, not like everything in the thing.
So we can just put it at the top though, right?
You don't want to do that because you sorry, yes, I read. Sorry. The code is kind of small. Can you like make it a little bit bigger? Like squeezing.
Um,
Yeah, that's a little bit
yes,
too big.
but it is cutting off on the side.
Ooh, wait, that looks really cool. Anyways, that looks okay. Looks good. Okay. Well, let's figure out what goes here
Mm-hmm.
by looking towards the bottom. What do you where how do we get the request body? Like how do we get that to be assigned to the variable body?
Mm, it's not going to be response message because we already have that over here.
You're almost there. Your cursor went across it. Not that.
Name?
No. Like the
Oh,
body.
this
Like
one.
how are we calling body?
Is it rec.body?
Yep.
Okay. Um, cool. And then what is the purpose of having these variables over here?
Yeah, so basically, if you go back to the npm documentation, it tells you that if you want this to succeed, you need to define a couple of variables like
Mm-hmm.
body, boundary, and parts. So we're using this package. So if we want this to succeed, we got to define all the variable it needs to work.
Mm-hmm.
So if you go back, yeah.
Oh,
So
so we want this part. Okay, cool. That makes sense.
that makes sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
Y'all, if you have any questions, drop it in the chat. I think that's it. That should work. So let's see what happens. You have to click test run at the very
Test.
top. And then let's do that. Oh wait, we can't test it now because we didn't like send it any images yet.
Okay.
It's the multi-part processes images data, right? So you
Mm-hmm.
got to send it an image for it to work.
Okay. And how do we do that? Are we supposed to
Go
know how
back
to
to
do
the
that yet?
instructions. It's the next step, I think.
Okay. So
So
we
to
just
move
keep
on,
going.
let's copy and paste
Um,
the code.
the
So
entire thing.
yeah,
Cool.
and
Comment the code.
that looks really ugly, but we can fix that later.
Checkpoint number 1. Cool.
Fist of Fury. While you read through that, let me open Postman first while I answer this question. Let me answer this one first. What do you think about PHP? Do you think it's going downhill? No. WordPress powers how many percent of the web? Like 50, 60% of the web. PHP ain't going nowhere, you know? WordPress powers so much of the internet. It's insane. So it's not going there for a while. Even if marketing people think it's going to go away. Before I got hired, did you practice tons and tons of code challenges? I did practice leak code a bit, but I was lucky enough where my interviews weren't really centered around coding challenges. So my ability to communicate really shone through, not to toot my own horn, but that's kind of, I think, what secured my employment is my ability to talk, not necessarily my ability to code, leak code. If that makes any sense. Okay, checkpoint 1.
Daniel, I might have to hop off the live stream right now.
Why?
I have work. I have to complete coursework.
Wait. Let's finish this checkpoint before we go.
Okay. This is on Postman, right? This isn't
Yeah.
on the Azure Function app portal.
Yeah. So we have to go. Do you have Postman downloaded?
I don't.
The drama.
The
Let's just
drama.
install Postman.
Okay.
Postman is have you guys heard of Postman? Um Postman is an app um that allows you to test APIs and yeah, makes your life a lot easier. Just download the yeah, download it.
Yeah, it's just
Also, they have the cutest branding. Like a shout out to Postman. I'm streaming with Postman on Thursday. So if you guys want to stream, tune into the Postman Twitch stream, I'll be there. But yeah, Postman is really awesome. Also, I love the DevRel team there.
okay. I'm just gonna go back to screen sharing the whole thing.
Yay.
And nope, wrong one. Let's see.
Wait, I gotta screenshot this so I can put it on my Twitter. Also, y'all, like, feel free to follow me. Shreya will be getting her own Twitch stream pretty soon, so follow her on Twitter at Shrey the Cray. She is so cool. Yes. I'm a little biased because I'm her friend, but she's very cool.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, we're gonna create a free Postman account.
It's free.
Ooh, continue email. I hope no one already has my name, but they might. I'm just gonna. Cool.
You can sign in with Google if that's faster.
Yeah,
Love
that's
OAuth.
so sad.
Open up the Postman app.
Cool.
And I think we are at liftoff.
Why am I offline? Okay.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
Wow. Do you feel like a hacker now?
Not yet. I think we'll get there by the end of week two's content.
We're only at
We'll get there.
we'll get there. We can stream tomorrow.
Yes. Awesome, awesome. Let's use our Postman skills. Navigate back to Postman Chrome extension app and change get to post. Okay, I feel like I'm missing something.
No, you
Am I
got it.
missing
This
something?
is
How do I get
wait,
to
let's
this
go to step
point?
1. Let's read through this again. I think we went breeze past it. We're going to make sure okay, so in order to make sure your function is correctly receiving and parsing the image, we're going to be adding a line of code in the module exports. Oh, okay. So we need to do step 1. We didn't do step 1.
Okay. Adding a line of code in the module exports over here. Ooh.
So let's say we're okay, this is going to be a little bit difficult. So bear with me, Shreya. We need to find one image, right? That wait, can you go back to the instructions? I want to see what part it goes over. Okay. Stores our parts image. So it tells us, okay, use context.log to print the thingy. Print the print to console. Our last line of code, var parts is equal to multi-part parse is stored our parsed image. We only have one image, so let's access it in an array with the index of 0, parts 0. Okay, cool. So let's make a context.log that basically says, hey, if this image exists, let's print out we did it. Okay. And then we should also have a variable called image that is the same thing as the first object that is parsed by the multi-part function. Did that make any sense?
Yeah, we want to make sure we have an image, but at what point did we get the image?
Yeah, so we need to get the image right now. So basically the way that we're going to get the image, right, is that someone is going to send it to us through a request. So we're going to be parsing that request.
Okay, so we haven't gotten there yet, right?
No, we have. That's what the multi-part.parse is doing. It's parsing the request.
No, but we haven't like made the request yet.
No, we do that through Postman. But what we need to do is be like, hey, if we pass in an image, I want it to print out yes, WAAS.
Okay.
So how would you do that? Like, how would you store the image for the first? So let's say there's only one object that is being parsed instead of multiple because it's multi-part. You could, in theory, send like 5 images. But let's say we're only sending one image. How would you store that first image in that array into a variable called image? So we need to first define a variable called image, I think, right?
Okay.
No, not there. Like do it right below parts. Yeah.
Okay. So we have an image.
And
we want it to be part 0.
To the first part. Almost. But like parts is the whole message. We want a very specific part of parts 0. What is part 0 made out of? Like what is it made out of?
It's made out of those 3 components, the file, I think it was the name, the type, and the data type.
Oh, fuck it. Oh, I can't say fuck.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. So out of those 3 variables, what do you think stores the actual image? The file name, type, or data?
The data.
Data. Let's do it.
Okay. Do we just do .data?
Yep. That's it.
That's it. Cool.
It's so dramatic for nothing.
You're like, yep. Awesome.
This is like not difficult. It's just I'm just a very dramatic person.
And then what do we want to do?
And wait, let's go back. I forgot what it said about console log. So we have stored it in a variable, right? Parts 1, 0. Wait, scroll up. I need to read number 1 again. In order to make sure that your function is correctly receiving and parsing the image, we're going to be adding a line of code in the module exports function to print out the image data. Oh, we're just going to print out the image data. Oh, all we have to do is part 0. Yeah. That's cool.
So that's just this over here.
Yeah.
We don't really need this for the time.
No, well, we do need that later. So let's just comment it out for now.
Okay. Right. So that's we already have that.
Postman. Yeah. Let's. I'm hype. Okay. Cool. Let's make a post request.
How do we make a post request? Keep in mind, I've never used Postman before, so.
Oh, this is exciting.
Mm-hmm.
How do you think we make a post request?
I have no idea. We have to. I don't even know where to start right now.
No worries. Let's go for workspaces and see what that's about.
Okay.
And then let's do my workspace because, you know, it's Shreya Gupta's.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. And this is similar to the screenshot, I think, right? So there's some kind of like new tab thing. So let's create a new tab maybe.
Is it this?
Let's try it.
Oh, ooh. I want to make a new request.
We stand. What should we call this request?
Image.
Wow, look at this creative genius right here. Look at Shreya naming her request image, just straight up.
Request serverless. Okay.
And
select a collection or folder
let's
to save.
Create a collection. Just call it week 1. So like we stand.
Cool.
Okay. Save to week 1. Cool. So what did the instructions say?
Oh, let's go back.
That wasn't the assignment.
Let's go to postman. Okay, we want to make a post request to the answer function. And change get to post. Where is get? Oh, change this to post.
Right here.
Cool. Copy your function's URL. Okay, cool. Where's the function's URL? Oh, there's a little GIF thing. Oh my god, this is cool. Copy.
Oh,
okay.
Shoot, that's so cool.
Paste. Cool. And do I just click send?
Let's see.
Attach the file. I don't have an image yet. Where am I attaching it?
No, there's a GIF of it attaching in the instructions.
Wait, no, because it says value. Oh, body, image. Click on the thingy and then file. Okay. Body.
Stan Emily here. Emily is the person who made this nice GIF.
Mm-hmm.
We stand.
Emily is the coolest. Well, not the coolest, because everyone at Bit Project is cool, but she's one of the coolest.
Yeah, because that's me. I am the coolest. Thank you for recognizing that.
Okay. Sure. Just because we're on your stream right now, I will say sure.
Okay, wait. You messed up again.
I keep losing it.
Cool down. Okay, so it's body.
I didn't mess up. But how do I do something? How do I make a body?
It says body none. It says you're configuring it, so you send nothing. You want to send something, right? No. Yeah. Like under right next to none. Do you see that thing under params? None. It says none under params.
Where does it say params?
Underneath post. Are you on Postman? No.
Yeah.
Down. Left. Params.
Oh, params. None. Form data?
Form data, yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then you follow it. So what are you going to call this?
And then file.
No.
This was file.
Yeah, let's delete that one. Yeah.
Ooh, I'm going to send them a picture of my face, but this version of it. I'm really proud of it.
Okay, send it.
Me.
Description, me.
And then send.
Oh my god, Chloe is here.
Hi, Chloe.
Oh yeah, guys. We were talking about non-traditional folks in tech. Chloe used to be a theater major. and she is now a fancy, shamancy, amazing, fantabulous, orange-haired senior developer advocate at Microsoft. And she is the coolest,
She
they
is
say.
the coolest. She is also our mentor for Bit Project and has helped us a lot over the last few half a year,
OMG,
more than that.
Chloe. Let's do a live stream after this because we're gonna be wrapping up here soon. And I want to do it on your stream because I think my stream has gotten too much action today. We've been streaming for like an hour and a half. Oh yeah, Chloe is the ultimate wizard. You should see her like Twitter. It's like how like Beat Saber when you like go and like slash all the beats. That's like Chloe with her DMs. Also, check out Chloe's blog. Not to plug Chloe stuff, but her blogs are really cool.
You should link it in the chat if you
Oh,
have
yeah.
the link.
I'll just link to her. Chloe's so cool. But anyways, that's the link to Chloe's dev too if you want to go follow her. I feel like this is a Stan Chloe account now. Okay, so what are we doing? Did it work?
We hit send, and then we have our function open in another tab to observe what happens. You should get something like this. Something like this didn't happen.
You got to open the console.
Open the console. Where did the console go? This one?
Yeah. But we
Are
gotta
you
we gotta
sure?
run it again. We gotta run it again. Yep, I'm sure.
Don't we run it like here?
No, that's when you want to test it within the app. But if you want to like test it like using Postman, you gotta you gotta see the
Okay.
Chloe, content master, would you bestow your wisdom upon me? Did anything happen?
How do you run it?
Just send it in Postman again and have it open in the same window.
Gotcha.
No, but you gotta have it. Oh shoot, it doesn't work. Let's go back to the instructions. Okay. Remember, wait. Let's see if you test it correctly. Can you zoom into the GIF? I can barely see the GIF. Form data. Okay, that's correct. Image. It says body form data. Okay, file. Okay. And post. Okay, let's go back and try it again. Hopefully it works. It looks correct. Body form data image. Yep. Let's click send. I think it worked, but it's not working because it says it triggered. So that means that we're in the wrong console. You might be right.
Yeah.
Go to the functions file. Maybe code. Yeah. And then test and run, maybe? Nah, that's not it. That's so weird. Why is it monitor? Maybe is it under monitor on the left? Maybe that's it. Is that not a thing? Taking its sweet ass time. Logs? Is it under logs? I feel like I'm overcomplicating this. Like I feel like there's a button like logs on the top next to invocations. Very top.
Where logs?
Ooh,
Should I
wait.
try it again?
Yeah, try it again.
And
It worked.
you're right. Did it work? Yes.
Yeah, it worked. Oh, we should leave feedback that we should specify that. That's important. Bro,
Where does it
cognitive.
actually save? Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was saying, where does it show that we actually got that image? Because it doesn't say anything. Um, right, we should get something like this.
Mm-hmm. So let's look at it. What does it say?
Uh, the reason the first line is the same. JavaScript trigger function processed a request. Succeeded. Doesn't actually have the file name and that type of stuff.
Ooh, that's bad. That means we fucked up. We messed up on the function.
Oh,
Let's
we
go and
didn't?
like look at the function.
Okay. This, oh, maybe I didn't save it.
Oh yeah, I don't think you saved it.
Yeah. Whoa, why is this not letting me type? Console log, what was it? Parts zero? Zero?
Dot data.
I don't think it wants I think it wants the whole thing.
Did you save it?
Okay.
Command
Yeah, I
F.
saved it now and I'm gonna try to run it again.
Did it show?
Mm-mm.
Wait. Is it? Wait, are you sure it's dot not dot data? Can you like double check?
So this is the line that was in here. The dot data was just what you told me to do.
Okay, never
Oh,
mind.
it's
Okay,
context.log, maybe.
oh. Oh yeah, that would make a lot more sense. Console is like in your local directory.
Let's try that again. Oh, yes, Shreya cropped.
Worked.
Awesome.
Oh shoot, it worked. So we successfully sent an API request and it worked. Oh yeah, we're
And
getting there. We're actually going through the homeworks. Shreya is learning how to code with Azure functions.
I actually need to learn this for my senior design project, so this is great.
Yeah, it's like Daniel teaches or teach Daniel. It's like more
Teach
like Daniel
Daniel,
teaches.
but the other way around, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, cool. How do I upload?
You just
Mm-mm-mm-mm.
drag and drop it. Here's a
Do I
link.
just
Hint.
desktop? Okay, don't look at my other random pictures on my desktop.
Oh yeah, look at that drawing of a fish. That is artistic there.
That was from our
Art.
social for the game dev big camp. Um,
Oh my gosh. Wait, do you want
You
to
got
end the
it?
stream here or do you want to keep
Yeah,
going?
I think I gotta
Right,
end it
yo,
here.
I am going to. Wait, stay, bro God Almighty. We're almost done. We have like 3 more minutes of the stream. But today was really fun because today was the first episode of Shreya and Daniel, professionals, going through Azure and serverless curriculum. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm going to be on live stream after this, which is going to be really fun. So if you want to hang out, I'll be on Chloe's stream. Um, what else? Oh yeah, thanks for coming. Me and Shreya will be streaming tomorrow as well, and hopefully every day, so she can eventually become an amazing engineer and school all of us. That's the goal. Um, but yeah, have a great rest of your day. Stay safe, and I'm going to try to raid someone because I think I know how to do that, but we will see.
You did it yesterday. You can do it again.
Yeah, have a great day. I don't know how to raid people. This is really hard. Raid channel. Oh, my friend is online. Okay, I'm gonna raid him.
Oh, Fist of Fury 2 is asking what time do you usually stream, Daniel?
Oh, so I want to stream at 11 a.m. In the morning PST every day. But oh shoot, I rated.
Should I leave? Should I dip?
No, let's stay for a second. Oh, what's up, Daniel? What's up? Thank you for rating.
I hear Danny in the background.
Okay. we're gonna stop being live.